Last year was my third year in the B category, and that was during inline summer. One of the judges, he manages a B team, and he asked me, "Hey, what about marathon skating? You want to get in? You want to get in a team? We have a spot free." I was like, why not? Do I have the freedom to choose some races, pick out some races? If I want to go to Colombia, Mexico, for example, can I leave earlier? Yeah, no problem. It's all free. So then, okay, I was like, yeah, that's a good challenge. Everything is fixed. I can train on the ice for a little bit. I think it was 1 time a week, and the rest I had to manage myself. And then that's how it all started. And then you start to work your way up in the B category. You get some results. You get some attention from other teams and more possibilities, more facilities. And with those facilities, I also train for the inline season. So, it's a win-win situation, and you really need it to build the house like higher and higher.
Yeah, for us from the north of Europe, we think we have to do that. We can't skate all season like in Colombia or Mexico or something.
Unless you win the lottery or something.
Yeah. So,
but you mentioned that, then you went on the ice and you developed a lot on the ice as well. Got some good contract now on this new A division team. And is it like your plan for the future to just develop only on ice, or do you hope that inline will become, I don't know if you can say more professional, but people that are really professional, but there will be more money in inline? So if it was possible, would you just go all in for inline?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I think, that's also the same for you guys. If inline is where the heart is, and you do it with more fun, it's the good weather, the community, and with marathon skating, the community is also identical. Long track is a little bit different, but I think, if I had to choose, and in inline there would be a really like a professional team, a national team, and you could go full time for it without having the struggle of needing to work or need to fund your sport career with anything. Yeah, I would go for it 110%.
So it was also a part of the choice you had to make when you had to choose which marathon team to skate for, you said? Yeah,
it's all part of the plan. Yeah, I had some options, and then one option is more really aimed for the marathon skating, even long track a little bit.
Yeah.
And then other options, you have less facilities or less money, but you have more freedom. Yeah. And for me at the moment, the freedom is worth more because I can do what I love to do, and that's inline. And that's why I choose to skate in a team. Yeah, maybe people say with a little bit less. You can put that into. I'm not sure how to say it in English, but
I don't know. It doesn't work so well in the podcast.
We have no video. People say it could be less, but for me, I stayed in the same organization as I was in the B team, and the freedom comes together with the trust people have in me and the trust I have in the organization. And when you have trust in each other, that saves up loads of time, and it gives confidence back to you, and you give confidence back to them, and I think that's priceless. So that's why I chose to stay in the same organization, and it all went really good, both summer and winter. It's I cannot be more happy at the moment with how everything is managed. So
I think after your good ice season last season and the offers you got from the different teams, I talked with you earlier, so I think most people would have chosen the money over the freedom a little bit. But with that freedom, like you also said, with the trust back and forth, how is it with your training programs? Can you tell a little bit about this? Because I think that's also a little bit special or different with you, with a lot of people who manages your training.
Yeah, so I think that started 2 winters ago. So I was in a national inline team. We had a group of people living in Heerenveen training together. And we started the winter with a message, there are no facilities from this winter we can offer you. So everyone had their own path, and some people went to long track teams, some people went to marathon teams, and I was like, what am I going to do? I have nothing, and I had the B marathon team, but it was all free, and some races I could pick out, some races not. So I decided to go to Mexico and Colombia, and that was where it all started. Like for the story of the training plan, I really discovered what real training is over there, like making 35 hours a week, sleeping 12 hours a day, doing nothing else, eat, sleep, train, repeat. It sounds like a cliche, but it's really true.
Yeah.
And I took some good points from there, some good points from the earlier years before. And since 1.5, 2 years, I do my own schedule and I pick out the good points. And of course, it can be difficult for yourself and your discipline to keep doing the things you don't like, you dislike, because that's
yourself,
the most important thing you have to do.
Yeah.
But if you keep that in mind and you still make progress and you really trust the plan, and of course I have some people I talk with about the plan, then it's really fulfilling and it gives you even more motivation to continue and get better. So since 1.5 years, I have the ice trainings with the team, but around that I do my own trainings, like the plyos from Mexico or some bike trainings from Colombia, it's a mix-up of all things I like and I do for fun.
Yeah, you can see the results are showing that it's working for you, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess you really need that discipline. Like, I think, for a lot of people it would be difficult, and you also have a lot of experience with, like you said, like Colombia, Mexico, and here in the Netherlands. But like, despite, like, if you look away from the training and outside, like in your normal daily life, is there something you think is really important as an athlete? Like, is it the structure of the, like, everyday living, or do you think a lot about your diet, your sleep, or whatever?
Yeah, but that's part of the discipline, the diet and sleep. If you consider yourself a top sporter, like, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you need to work or you're funded completely by a federation or something, but you are a top or a pro level athlete if you do everything what's possible for you to get the most out of the sports. So if you're disciplined with sleeping, if you're disciplined with the food and you don't cheat with the pepernoot or the stroopwafels, and you respect yourself.
Thanks for the stroopwafel, Casper.
Yeah, no problem. I took one myself as well, so yeah.
We trained today, so
we're
good.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We had skating, we had biking. It's okay. It's recovery food.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, we continue the story, and so if you learn that yourself and you plan ahead, and then at the same time you don't look further than like 2 or 3 days. You know what you're going to do tomorrow. You prep your food for tomorrow. You get some good rest for tomorrow. And then tomorrow you will see what the day after will bring. But if you keep on doing that structured from day to day, it gets normal. And then you don't know better. And people tell you, isn't that a big investment? It takes time. No, I don't know how I should do it else. Like, it's normal for me.
It's just habits.
You build up
habits, yeah.
That's important.
And that's, of course, in normal life, you can also see that if friends from outside of the sports, they eat unhealthy, you already have the thing in your mind, oh shit, I want it, but no, I cannot have it. And then it works the other way around as well. I bring my habits to work, and then, oh, you're structured, oh, that's nice. But yeah, of course, it has its flaws as well. So yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I've myself, like, my experience is that I've proved in a lot during training camps where everything was structured for me. But at the same time, in the long term, I think I've improved myself more by having that independence and having that, I don't know, like, difficulty of having to structure everything around your study or living or traveling from place to place, training with different people. Like, I did have my coach, Jesper, always helping me out, but he was not the type of coach, like, being there with the whistle and lap times and telling me what to do every day. It's like most of the time it was just me and Philip just training alone in the rain, and sometimes also just planning a bit ourselves a lot. And and that I think that's a strength as an athlete, and it also a strength that you can, like you said, with your work, you can bring it into the rest of your life.
Yeah, but I think that's a way we also learn, because we are in the inline sport. Because, we talked about funding and stuff, but you have to be creative with the ways you train, training camps, to make it as low budget as possible. And the only way to do it is do it yourself. And so then...
Or with the schippers.
Yeah, or with the schippers. yeah. So, for example, I went to Mexico and Colombia. You pay for the flight going there, but once you are there, it's cheap. people cannot imagine how cheap it is. I think €1 over here, it's worth 10 over there to compare.
It was the same with me, both in Ecuador and Colombia when I went there. It's crazy.
Yeah, but the whole experience and the culture, and it's an eye-opener for you as an athlete, but also being a human. And then you take those lessons with you, and you take that luggage with you also in work, also in normal life, in social life, and in sports. And that's the beautiful part about having to fix everything yourself. You take it everywhere. It's never a waste of time.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, really important if you have the discipline and the structure, but also try to live, because that's what we have to do.
Yeah, and I that's why I really respect guys like you and the Schippers as well, because we've come here and joined you guys, lived with you guys, or trained with you guys a lot of times. And I remember one time that we just did a training together before a race in Herde on the track, just a normal training. You probably won't remember the stories. Just for me, it made a big impression. It was just a normal training, easy training. We just skated and we came home. I was like, oh, nice training together with Casper. And then after he was like, oh, I'll just send you the lap times from today's training. And you sent me the lap times of all the laps we did. And it was like, it's for your training diary. And I was like, I don't put all my lap times in my training diary and stuff. So how is it with that, with like your training diary? How do you do to monitor your training or all this? Because you seem to have a very good structure with that as well. Or heart rate monitor, do you use that? Or
Yeah, of course. You use the heart rate monitor, and since a short time I have the watts on my screen for the bike. So that's a new challenge and a new place in my training diary to fill in. But
more data, yes.
Yeah. But it's not about piling up the data. It's about you mentioned the Schippers, and they are sprinters. I'm long distance, but we discuss a lot about it, and we try to learn each other and motivate each other during training and make each other better. And I think for me, I keep track of my training data for myself, because if I fill it in my training diary, it's like a reprocess going through the head. So in my opinion, people do visualization, like they sit on the bench. Okay, now 40 seconds, I do a 500 meter on ice. And it's scientifically proven, people get better out of it. And I think if I relive the training by putting in the data, I think, oh, those were the good spots, those were the weak spots. I have to work on this. I have to keep track of this. And this is a good point. Take that to the next training. It gives me positive feedback and also points to work for. And that's why I keep the training diary. And it's not about piling up the data. Oh, now I put 10 more watts. Of course, yeah, that gives you a positive vibe. But it's not about pushing more watts. It's about skating faster. And altogether that helps.
So just thinking about, your training, what you're doing, what you can improve. Actually, just reflecting on what you're actually doing. That's the most important to develop, I guess. Yeah,
it's part of your interest. Also, together with the Schippers, you know the weird guy from Holland, the Iceman, Wim Hof. He goes underneath the ice plates and swims like 2 minutes in freezing water.
Yeah. Meditation, holding his breath, going in ice water.
Yeah, we have a Danish guy who does that as well. Some work.
This guy is more crazy.
He's more crazy. Yeah, he's Dutch, so that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I think we also watch videos from him, and then you try to implement the breathing into training. Like, let's try it before intensive training and see how it works out. And then it actually makes a difference. And then the next time you think it was a waste of time. Yeah. And then that's how you try to pick out some points and try to improve everything. Yeah, and that's how we work.
Yeah, I did the cold showers after seeing a lot of his videos and stuff. I love it.
In the morning?
No, not in the... if I shower in the morning. Normally I have to go training in the morning, but just not strictly to his program, just like cold shower, and you come out of the cold shower, you feel more recovered mentally, which I think will also help your recovery physically, just because you feel that way. And you always feel happy after. So it's cold, you gotta get used to it, and it's horrible in the beginning, but I love it.
So, like you mentioned before, you've been in Mexico and in Colombia, and Mike Perez is from Mexico, and you train with him, and some other South Americans in Colombia, I guess. So, how is it different from here in Holland, and what did you learn from it?
To keep it short, it's completely different. I spoke to Mike sometimes before, and he was in Colombia at the place of Alex Cujavante to train, world champ.
Yeah, world
so
champion.
high level. He has a small group. That's really weird for Colombia. Normally, it's a really big group. But then the training is so